Engage People. Today we're going to get to know the team. Engage People is a niche recruiting firm. Our area of expertise include the financial arena, including accountancy, banking, international financial services, and insurance. Our main mission is always aligning businesses with talent and finding the right fit. And one of the key people that does that every single day as part of his role is our client services manager, Stephen Bent. Hi, Stephen. Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Hi Grace, thanks for the nice introduction there. Yeah, I've been with Engage People for just over a year actually now. I celebrated my anniversary there back in April. I'm the client
Brilliant.
service manager and I primarily specialize across the insurance market. I've been doing that prior 3 years to joining Engage People. So I've built up a good reputation, I hope, and some really good contacts across kind of general insurance. Kind of life insurance as well, and anything from entry level right up to director level nationwide. So we're not focused just on the Dublin market. We do have a lot of clients in Cork, Galway, Limerick, Donegal, Sligo, and in the Midlands, and especially the southeast, the likes of Waterford and Wexford. So a good spread of the country, which is always good.
Yeah, brilliant. It sounds like you've been busy as well this year to date. How are you getting on personally? I guess just to kick us off, how are you finding quarantine? How have you been keeping?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think everybody's been finding it strange times, but I suppose from my point of view, I actually had to self-isolate for 14 days at the start of all this, just due to a couple of symptoms. Now, I was never tested, but um, I obviously had to
Mm,
keep myself away from everybody else, which was
more
difficult,
difficult.
living in a house sharing with some housemates. But you kind of learn to adapt, and I've actually been volunteering in the last couple of weeks with the Ivy
Brilliant.
Trust hostel, which is the biggest homeless shelter in the country, and alongside that, to keep kind of fit mentally and physically, and to raise extra funds, me and a couple of friends have taken part in a 5K a day in May,
Wow.
which is 155 kilometers each.
Woohoo!
I tell you, the legs are quite sore. So only 10 runs left, including today. So
But I think the way you're approaching it and kind of looking after others and seeing how you can still contribute to the society and to other people, that's really brilliant, Stephen. Um, Great to hear stories like that. So,
thanks very
Stephen, I
much.
suppose going on to more kind of your career path and your career journey, what was the best one piece of career advice that you ever received and that you would like to pass on to other people?
Yeah, I suppose from my point of view, I think people always talk about certain books they read, or a certain boss that they work with. But being honest, and without sounding
Mm,
corny, it would probably come from my dad. So my dad would have been in the insurance market for over 40 years. He was a managing director for a large insurance broker, but he always kind of said to me about keeping a level head and how you do that. Your day can go, up here to down
mm,
there with so many things going on, especially in recruitment, but not celebrating the wins too much, and not obviously getting too down when things don't work out. So it's just trying to keep on a level par throughout the
yeah.
day, and not letting the day dictate you.
So you work a lot with people. How do you manage that? What's your
Exactly.
best kind of tip or the biggest thing you've learned about working with other people and managing teams?
Yeah, I think as you know, I know you're only recently new into recruitment yourself, Grace, but you've picked it up quite quickly, and you can see that all the various different parts to recruitment, and everybody listening today would understand that. I think controlling the controllables is probably, again, the
Mm,
best bit of advice I can give. To so much stuff in recruitment, that you can't control, and you just have to realize that, and your job is to put forward the best candidates, sell the best roles to the as best as you can
mm,
to clients, and align what they're looking for in the next move. But people don't turn up to interviews, people don't turn up for jobs, people won't reply to you, but you've got to keep all the plates spinning at the same time, and again,
yeah.
just control what's in your control. So
Controlling your mental attitude the way you've been with things you've been getting involved in has made such a difference. What about in your kind of history of work and all the jobs you've had? What has kind of been the most uncomfortable or unpleasant experience, and kind of how did you grow from that? I know it's a bit of an awkward one, but I think it's a really insightful one to hear.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good one, and it's probably when I started off in recruitment. Everything's going well, and you think everything's great, and you learn from everything. But I had just got on a new client, and I got a candidate, obviously, placed a candidate to start there with a new position, and my boss was delighted. And then the candidate didn't show up on the first day, turned off their phone, no
That's
contact. Client
awful.
rang me, asked me what was going on. So it was my first kind of experience of the other side of just experiencing a high and then going straight down to try and
Mm,
work on things that are a little bit uncomfortable. So again, it's just that's out of my control. I can't pick somebody up on their first day and bring them to work, unfortunately. But they actually got. I found out that they got a job elsewhere. They accepted an offer. Now I didn't know they had that going on, so I suppose
mm,
what I try and do from learning from that would be I'd be a bit more thorough with my questions from the start and really get to the pain points of why they're looking to leave, and making sure that I'm constantly communicating with them in the process to see if they have anything else going on, who else they're talking to, what other companies they
mm.
may be interviewing with, and just kind of managing them as best I can.
Kind of from that, I suppose, what are the right questions to ask? What's your kind of that one question that you ask that really gives you that insight into the candidate, to know if they're the right person for a role?
Yeah, well, that's it's a good one, I suppose. Just from like the way I would look at it is, I'm calling this candidate due to their CV being relevant, so I know about their work experience. So I sometimes, I'd like to see
Mm,
what their biggest achievement is outside of work. Because I think whether it's sporting or whether it's a passion that they have, a charity or fashion or anything that someone might have a good interest in, I always like to see what they've achieved outside. And I think if people are personally setting the self high, that I think they'll do it also in work. So it's good, and
mm.
and it gets you kind of to understand a bit more about them.
To see kind of what they're like as a person as well. Um, and what have you learned during COVID-19? I know
Definitely.
there's a lot of this going out there. People are self-improving and whatever, but on an honest level, like, have you learned anything new about yourself, about your life, about your working style? Um,
Yeah, I like adapting to work for everyone from home is difficult. Like I'm more of a people person, so I like to be in work. I enjoy the work environment. We've got a great place to work, and iconic. We share offices with other companies, and there's nice workspaces, and it's just a really calm and relaxed and nice kind of environment to work in. Um, so I think that was a bit of a struggle at the start, but then when you realize, still the same principles of making it happen is one of our values in Engage People. So, I can still pick up the phone, call people, get up on time, plan my day. The work we do with Shane Craddock outside of work has been very beneficial to make sure that I'm, you know, block booking my time and making sure that I'm being effective from home. And just your attitude, just getting up every morning, be driven and be positive, and having really good conversations with clients, and understanding what's going on, and I think that's been really the what I've learned about myself. It's still the same principles, and you just apply it. But it's been good, and it's been a good learning curve.
and kind of how have you managed the networking? Obviously, networking is such an important part of your kind of relationship building with your clients and with your candidates, but it's obviously been tough with lockdown. Have you kind of learned anything about how to manage that during this time?
Yeah, I suppose that, like, networking tips in general. What advice I give to people is, like, I'd be quite strong on LinkedIn. I've over 15,000 connections from my time. So I've
Mm,
always looked, even from personal contacts, I think are great. People you went to school with, you wouldn't realize are in fairly high positions at this stage of their lives, and could be financial services, and reaching out to people. Like, people are willing to help and have conversations. So don't be afraid to look and see who you went to school with, friends, family, anything like that. I was obviously lucky again that my dad was in insurance for over 40 years. So I do utilize that, and it's a good compliment that if they know my dad, they're happy to work with myself. So on that side, it's been good. But definitely, I'd look and see who you're connected with on LinkedIn, and reach out to people.
mm. Thank you so much for your time today, Stephen. It was great getting to
Definitely,
chat
yeah.
to you and getting to let the guys know you a little bit more. And look forward to talking again soon. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Grace. Have a good day.
Bye.